Hello, it's the Gemin again. In this video, we will be taking a look at the Master Grade MS-18E Kampfer. I'm really excited for this mobile suit's design, despite it having a very sad fate in the anime, War in the Pocket. But even if it had a short appearance, it was still very significant in the series. Well, that's enough of that, since this is a review of the kit, not a review of the anime. So let's get to the box. Taking a look at the box, we can see that Bandai gave this kit a really cool box art. Just like any Master Grade model kit, we have the model number typed along the side. Down here we can see this was originally printed back in 2001, so we should expect a lot of weird seam lines and really bad nubs. The top and the bottom of the box is, again, just a cropped version of the front. On this side, we see the painted kit's front view and rear view, some features of the parts, specifically the inner frame. I think this is one of the first kits that actually has some sort of inner frame in it. The latch gimmick for the weapons over here. On this other side, we can see all the weapons attached to the Kampfer, making it look really tough. More featured parts, and this thing packs a lot of heat. And here is a special mention of the chain mine, which is a nice departure from the typical mobile suit weapons. And finally, down here we can see that it retails for 4,000 yen, just about 2,000 pesos. Now let's get into this package. Alright, we actually get this really cool poster. I wish Bandai did this with all their kits, although I don't really know where I would display them. Moving on, a lot of packs in this box. But first, let's take a peek at the manual. Simple front cover here, some info written in Japanese. We have here the parts list, and some bookmarks on the edge of each page. We have some nice sketches again, with some info, some snapshots of the scenes in the anime, and some same old. The painting guide over here, and the rest is pretty much the assembly. The back cover is the rear view of the kit. Well, let's open up these packs. I also just want to mention that the runner labels are kind of hard to see because they're not cut out like modern day kits. We have a multicolored runner A1, really liking how that orange looks. We have this clear piece for the mono eye, A2 in some gray for the frame, B1 and B2 in this weird greenish blue. And I've got to say, I wish it was more blue like how the original design is. I don't get why they changed it. C in a light gray, D for more frame parts, E for the weapons, and we have 2 of those, F again in the weird green, 2 of those as well, G for the leg frame times 2, H frame parts, I in light gray times 2, MP2 for these expressive open hands, and they're molded in this flexible plastic, SB4 with the yellow curved beam effects, the really big runner for polycaps. We have here some wiring and mesh tubing. I just love it when they have other stuff involved in the build other than just plastic. We got this tiny pack of screws. We have this sheet of dry transfers, and finally this sheet of peel and stick stickers. Quite a lot that comes in this kit. It seems that 80% of my viewers aren't actually subscribed, so if you're in that 80%, please consider subscribing because that will really help out the channel a lot. Subscribing is free, so please help your boy out. And for those who have already subscribed, thank you so much for all the support. It makes starting this channel a little more worth it whenever I see those comments and messages. Anyway, here's the Kampfer all built up. Even though there isn't much surface detail, I'm really loving how this guy looks. It's just that color that's really disappointing. But I'll be painting this kit anyway, so I guess it's fine. But for those non-painters, you'll be getting a greenish Kampfer. Putting this kit together was really simple, even though there are screws involved, which you have to take note that you have to use a regular sized screwdriver because these tiny screwdrivers won't be able to fully twist them in. Also have to be very careful with those nub marks because they're in pretty visible places. Part separation is really great. All the thrusters are actually separate orange pieces, although the thrusters under the feet are only molded in blue. But we have to remember that this kit is from all the way back in 2001, so the whole build was probably really good for its time. For size comparison, I have my Master Grade RX-78-2 1-year war version in my custom colors. So it's not that tall, it's kind of just really wide. Starting with the head, it's on this hinge allowing it to look up like this, not much down. The ball joint in there only allows it actually to just rotate. The mono eye is actually a clear piece, but you don't have a sticker to go over that, so you'll have to paint it for it to pop. Anyway, it can be adjusted like so. Shoulder pads are independent. There's actually a seam line right across there. The arm connection is a ball joint, so you can get most of what you need. Rotates 360. Moves up about this far. Swivel on the upper arm. Bend at the elbow is really good. Ball jointed wrists. The default hands are a trigger finger 3-finger split, but the 3 fingers are completely molded together, so you can't split them on your own. And no tab in the hands this time. Ball joint for the thumb. The back thrusters are all in ball joints. That's 1, 2, 3. Cockpit opens like so for a very clear view of the pilot. Not much for the torso, but the lack of skirt armor gives us a smooth 360. And you can see here the mesh piping. The hips are fixed ball joints, so they only allow for this much rotation and this much for spreads. There's a seam line here. These butt thrusters can actually extend. Again, since no skirts, the legs can go up this high forward and this far backwards. The top of the knee is on a peg, so it kind of rotates, but negligible. The knee joint only allows for a little less than 90 degrees. It's also worth noting that the knee is made up of very thin pieces, so you would probably want to be careful with that. The knee armor hinges like so. The ankle is just in a ball joint, so you can point the foot up this far and this far down. Not much for pivots. There's actually this piston detail in there, but it's basically just floating there. The feet are just bricks, but they have these claws. Nothing special with the articulation, but I think it's decent enough for the Kampfer to look good. Moving on to the accessories, we have these expressive open hands, this tiny standing pilot man, and we actually have no action base adapter. Apparently action bases didn't exist yet back in 2001. We have these 2 shotguns. You can either have these in this mode or this mode with the stock. You just have to switch out this piece here and there you have it. To put them in the hands, we just have to slip them in there. The Kampfer doesn't have the pegs in the hands to plug into the weapons, but they fit in there pretty snug. So you probably won't have any trouble with this guy trying to hold on to his stuff. So this shotgun can be stored here on the butt. We have this adapter piece that you open like this, and you just put the shotgun in there and plug it on the butt. It only has one storage adapter for the shotgun, so you either have to be holding the other or else it goes into your stash. Moving on, we have a pair of rockets on the sides of the legs. The more technical name for these are the Sturmfausts. The Kampfer can hold them like so, or you can have them in this deployed mode, but you'll need a stand to display them in a way that they actually look like they're flying in the air. To put them on the legs, we just have these adapter pieces that plug into these holes. Open the hatch and slot them in there. Next up, we have the beam sabers stored in the thighs. We just pull them out like so. But what's this?
What's this? What's this? There's color everywhere. What's this? There's white things in the air. What's this? I can't believe my eyes. I must be dreaming. Wake up, Jack. This isn't fair.
Well, we have these parts included that you have to attach to complete the saber handles. And tada! Beam sabers. I know they're just beam sabers, but it's nice that we get these curved blades instead of the usual straight stuff. Now let's take a look at the bazookas. They look really nice. On top of that, we have these swinging handles. That makes it very easy to hold. And of course, you can dual wield if you're into that. To store them on the mobile suit, we just have these adapter pieces that open like so. Then you slot the bazookas using this ridge here and just close it up. Then we just plug the adapters into the back like this. And finally, we have the chain mine. It's made with this flexible wire, allowing it to bend and curve to whatever position you would want, but it doesn't really support the weight of it for some slinging poses. This weapon doesn't have a special storage, so you can just try to make yourself a truck make your Gundam Alex go boom, or put them back in the box. Now here's the kit fully loaded up. You clearly have more than enough weapons for all your weapon needs. And it's really nice that there's a way to attach most of them in the mobile suit. The accessories are really good even if there isn't an action base adapter. Overall, the Master Grade Kampfer gets an approval from me. But maybe not for beginners. The build is pretty simple, but the nub cleanup and the seam line removal might just frustrate you if this were to be your first ever Master Grade build. But if you think you have the skill to pull it off, then I don't see any problem. Go for it. The articulation isn't special, but you can do what a bulky giant robot could probably do in real life if you think about it. You have a lot of options for posing this guy. Plus, with everything that comes in this kit, it makes the 2,000 pesos really worth it. Again, if you're part of the 80% unsubscribed, but you like my videos anyway, please consider subscribing because it's gonna help a lot. Anyway, that's it for this review. Thanks for watching. Bye!